All right, so let's see. We're coming to the top of the hour, 9 a.m. And so far, we're kind of, uh, trucking along here. Small green days, small green day yesterday, small green day here so far today. So leading gapper, ICCM, we'll go over that one in a second. Float, it's a 16 million share float. Volume is 2 million shares, and it squeezed up to 275 before rolling over and coming back down. So I'm kind of iffy on it. You can see the top of that candle there is 275, and it just came all the way back down. So it really didn't hold up super well, which is, it's disappointing. I thought we had some news on it, and I was like, okay, this news sounds interesting. Achieved significant milestone in Medicare coverage of breast cancer procedures, but I don't know. I guess that wasn't enough. So, anyways, we had that move there on ICM, which I jumped on. I took the trade on a micro pullback at about 216 right after the news came out, and that's when we got that squeeze there up to 275, but it didn't end up holding. Ended up forming like a head and shoulders pattern and then coming back down. So that was no good, kind of a bummer, but that was my first trade. We had HUDI. This was another one. So obviously, you guys saw HUDI yesterday. I mean, it was brutal. We had this crazy sell off. So when the news came out, it was at $125 a share, and then news comes out of secondary offering at $25. It drops pretty much immediately, and it didn't even find support at 25. It kept going lower. But then this morning we got this little bounce here, and I was kind of looking at it. I was like, this looks interesting. I saw it at like 16 after it popped up right here. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, so what is it? What's the upside potential? And I was looking at the high here of about 17. I was like, well, that's not a lot. And the spread was like 50 cents. And then I look back here where it bounced from like 15 up to 17, and it really didn't even bounce at all yesterday. I mean, it sold off without bouncing pretty much all day yesterday. So I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure how much this has in it. So then I checked the availability of shares to borrow to the short side, and there's shares to borrow and they're cheap. So I thought, okay, so this might just be one of those stocks where the pops just get faded, and then it goes up to 16. Let's see, it goes up to 16.50 by 16. So you've got a 50-cent spread. So it's starting to open up, and then it goes up to 16.75, 17, 17.50, 18, all the way up to 19. And I was like, well, I can't chase it up. So I left it alone. I didn't chase it. And I ended up missing a move from 16 up to $20. All right. So that's a little annoying. But, it's just, and this is kind of similar. I had one last week. I can't remember which one it was, but, it was PKBO, I think. Or maybe it was a different one. I don't remember. In any case, it doesn't matter. I had one that I was looking at and had totally the right idea, but I was just a little gun shy. I didn't take the trade and ended up missing an opportunity. So, all of that is a product of trading in a bear market, and being a little bit more cautious is probably a good thing in this market. If you get a little too aggressive, I think you're going to find yourself, catching some good sized losses, and obviously we want to avoid that. So, and for those tuning in, you may notice testing out some of the charts that we've been working on. So this is all in a beta testing environment. So hasn't been released for customers yet, and it won't be for a little while. But I'm starting to work on giving my development team some feedback on how the charts are working. So we're just starting to get things dialed in. I promised you that we would be building out charts to be part of this Daytrade Dash platform. So all the members over at Daytrade Dash, you guys will start to be able to benefit from these improvements that we've been making. And yes, you can go to daytradedash.ai or .com. It should redirect you. Daytradedash.com. Let's see. Yep, there you go. So it redirects you over to AI if you want to check out just the tools. This is just the tools. Now, the charts aren't available yet. But you can certainly start using the platform as it currently exists with news and scans and chat, and you can opt into my audio video broadcast, and you'll know that charts are coming soon. So overall market right now, election day, it's peaking just a little bit, which is nice, coming back up a little. But really, overall market doesn't make a huge difference when we're trading small caps. So the list today, well, ICCM, that one is no good. I already went over that. HIMS floats too high. HIMS, STIM, not much volume, so probably not going to be able to trade that one. TWOU, $7.60, 57 million share float. STIM, 200 moving average, just right around there. So it's coming up a little bit, but yeah, float's a little higher, volume's a little light. So I'm not sure about that just now. Let's see. And let me know if you guys see anything that I'm missing. Yeah, I can turn the watermark on. I'll do that a little bit later. So, let's see, Viru. You have this ascending support line here. Yesterday's high was like 16. I think a problem I might have with it is that I don't think it's going to be obvious today because it's only gapping up 3%. So it does look good. I just don't know. Being obvious feels important because otherwise, how's anyone going to see it? And given the float's a little bit higher on Viru, I'm just not sure if it's going to be noticeable to enough traders. Yeah, 64 million share float, easy to borrow. I don't know about that. I think I'm going to leave it alone for right now. I mean, the chart looks decent, but I just don't know if that's enough. That's the problem. Maybe it is, but I'm not sure. So we've got about 23 minutes to the opening bell here. So easy to borrow, it's not necessarily that it's bad. It's that a stock that's easy to borrow initially, when it first starts to pop up, will often have a lot of short sellers that will just hit it to the short side because it's easy to borrow. And so you'll have beginner short sellers that, that go short against the trade, against the position. So it's not until it goes up for like the second or third leg that it starts to squeeze out those beginner short sellers that they start to get more interesting. So I'm a little bit more hesitant jumping on a momentum stock that is easy to borrow when it's very early in the move, especially in a bearish market like what we're in right now. That's, and again, in a bull market, I'm going to be more aggressive and I'm not going to worry quite as much. So let's see. ESSC, yeah. So it was a SPAC. Mhm. Yeah, I'll keep it on watch. Oh, gotta log back out. So what I'm going to be looking at most likely this morning will be technical setups, first and second pullbacks. Maybe we'll see ABCD patterns, $half whole dollar setups, micro pullbacks. Micro pullback would be totally fine if we have something that starts to squeeze up and move quickly. It's a maybe as to whether or not we get that, but we'll see. You did have some micro pullbacks on HUDI earlier. Hey, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. So, let's see. Let me check the schedule today for mentor sessions. So, Warrior Pro members, you've got Danny's class, Jess's class at 11, and then we've got Danny teaching starting at 12 noon, and then large cap analysis with Mike at 2 p.m. All right, so that's your schedule for today. If you make 500,000 and lose 200,000, do you owe 500,000 on? Do you owe tax on 500 grand? So you would get 1099 from your broker at the end of the year, and the 1099 shows your net profit, excluding wash sales. So technically, so it depends on how what the gains and losses were on, but generally speaking, yes, you would pay tax on your net profit. And you can certainly do mark to market accounting, and many people do. And of course, many people trade in a retirement account, which means it's tax free as well. HUDI, yeah, it is a dead cat bounce. I mean, that's pretty accurate. So, I mean, it's obviously really dropped hard. There's no question about that. Um, so yes, it is a dead cat bounce, but I think the bounce is already in, and now it's just pulling back a little bit more. So let's see. What are some of our all-star traders looking at today? Manoli, do you have anything on watch? Let's see what Jorge's looking at. Jess has lots of daily setups, but nothing he likes yet for trades. So that means he's got a number of stocks he's got on watch. Max liking Viru. So Manoli, thinking about the theme. So what is the current theme right now? It's kind of a tough one. I don't even really know. We're kind of in between themes, but maybe I missed something. Okay, so we've got a couple of fans of Viru. So yeah, and today's election day, so I don't know that may have some, well, certainly an effect on the overall market. Small caps, yep, Jorge's back, and he's in the room right now. So, from a gap scan perspective, trading gappers is one of my go-to strategies. I've been trading for a long time. It's the gap and go strategy. So it's a strategy I teach in the classes. It's a strategy that I've been trading virtually every day. And everything I trade pre-market is at that point a gap and go trade. So first and second pullback, break of pre-market highs, pre-market pivot, half dollar, whole dollar, opening range breakouts, red to green. These are all individual ways to trade the gappers. So each one of these are their own class within the gap and go strategy. This morning, our leading gappers ICCM, but it's a little bit bearish because it squeezed to 275 and then came back down to 250 to $1.42. So it's retraced the whole move. I mean, it's, well, not the whole move, it's still up 35%, but it was up 100% at one point. And at that point, it was looking like this was something that, was going to give us some really great opportunities. And then it rolled over. So ICCM is no good. HIMS, I'm not interested in that one. So leaving that one alone. STIM, there's nothing really happening on it. So that one's no good for me right now. Ride, 200 million share float. Don't really care for that one. HUDI, already talked about it. That's a choppy one. I mean, it honestly, the only thing on HUDI that you have going for you is that it's volatile, and we do like volatility. So it's not impossible that you could find a trade on this at some point today where you could get a 50-cent winner per share, just based on the fact that it has range. But that carries a willingness to take a bit of risk on it, and I don't know if that's going to be for everyone. So HUDI, coming back to VWAP here, whatever, side chart. And that, that's kind of it. So we just don't have a lot this morning that looks great. So the rule of thumb here to me is I'm finding right now in this market, even still, this year, that I'm trading the best when news comes out. And so if we have a day where we're not having a lot of headlines, it's kind of hard for me to do much. I got a little bit of profit so far this morning, $1,100. That's good. That's something, but it's, it's just not quite, what I typically go for. And for what it's worth, you could see HUDI is down at 815 on the bid, 1815, 1801. Look at that rejection of VWAP right there. Right? Went right into that wall. So, potentially if it held 19 level, but it's not holding that level. So as of right now, with 10 minutes to the bell, there really isn't anything that looks phenomenal. And these are the times to manage risk, to just sit on the sidelines, be cautious, and wait for things to open up. So, last week and the week before, we've had individual days where we've had some really nice moves, some really solid momentum. So that's what we're looking for. And maybe it's not going to be today, but maybe it will. Maybe it'll be between 10:30 and 11. Who knows? Or maybe it'll be not till tomorrow or Thursday. And that's fine. When we see something moving, that's the time to step up to the plate. And when it's slow like this is the time to not trade out of boredom, but to keep yourself just sitting on the sidelines waiting for something that looks clean. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And those of you guys tuning in, thank you on YouTube for being here for the morning show. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Appreciate that, and for being subscribers. You can see we're testing, and I'm in beta testing for our new charts that we'll be adding to the Day Trade Dash platform. Girl Scooch. So my goal is over the next 2 months to get the charts to a point where I can use them 100% for my trading, and where I'm not going to use anything except for the tools that we have right here. So my other window has a little bit of a different layout. So can tab this out, put it on that browser, put it on that browser. Then when I log out and log back in, it'll repopulate the windows that were already out there. I'm just not, Viru is not my cup of tea, and I hope it works for you guys who trade it, but it's just not, it's not exciting enough for me right now. And I don't have a very big cushion on the day. In fact, I don't have a huge cushion on the week or even the month. It's still early in the month, and I haven't had I had a $11,000 day on Friday, but then I managed to give back more than half of it by the end of the morning. So oh. So yeah, scanners only for those that just want the scanners. You can see that over at Day Trade Dash. You can check out the pricing for scanners, for the chat room, for the audio video broadcast, for the news feed. And for those on Dash, you'll have access to the scanner or to the charts when we release them. Come on, girl. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes to the opening bell. Game plan today is to see if something becomes obvious. LASC earnings. Yeah, that could be a good one. Are the earnings after the bell later? Or does it already have news out? It doesn't look like it's doing much. So I know what I'm looking for. Stock's moving up quickly. And if we're not seeing it, then the best thing I can do is be patient. At 9:30, we're going to premiere a new episode on YouTube, which I think people will probably enjoy. This will be from the All-Star Trader Summit. There you go. No halts pre-market, unless it's halted pending news. So you don't have circuit breaker halts, but you will still have halts pending news. All right, maybe tomorrow I'll have some guests on the morning show that can join us and give us a little bit of a breakdown of what they're watching. So thank you guys for tuning in. This new episode on YouTube is going to premiere in about 90 seconds. So I'm going to end the morning show, and you guys will be able to get redirected over to the live premiere, and then I'll see you guys back here first thing tomorrow morning. Thanks as always for being tuned in. Yeah, we're putting out podcast episodes weekly, and we have another one that's coming out. Okay, reminders always, trading is risky. My results are not typical, so make sure you take it slow. Practice this simulator before you put real money on the line, and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. This is risky stuff. Okay, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. All right, Warrior members, Day Trade Dash members, we'll keep trading here, and we'll see if there's anything obvious at the open.